Alright, so first we have to remove the Allen bolts. They're Allen head screws. I'm not sure if they're SAE or metric. I just have a bucket of Allen wrenches, but there are two. One is the end cap and the other is the baffle itself. Just get those removed and we'll continue on. And you'll notice here how they're smooth outside and they're smooth inside as well. There's actually two layers to it, so we gotta remove the first layer. Alright, so just marking off where I want to remove that outer layer I just mentioned. What it is, it's two pipes, one smaller that's welded inside the other. So we're trying to remove that outer pipe and we're going to replace that with some padding, so hopefully it'll quiet it down. Now we're slicing down the center of the outer tube, and that way we can kind of expand it and slide it off from the inner tube. That way we have a nice gap, you'll see in a moment. Here I'm just slicing around the other side of the baffle, same as the first side, so I'll just speed through it. And now we have a fully released shell. Now we just have to pry it off, which was more difficult than I thought. And off it comes, finally. I ended up using a kind of a pry bar and pried it through the top. Worked okay. It's really springy steel, that's why it's so difficult. Alright, so now I've marked off all of the places where I'm going to create notches in order to interrupt the airflow, because when you interrupt the airflow through an exhaust, that's what actually does the baffling. That's what quiets it down. So I'm just notching a whole bunch of notches all around the inner tube, and afterwards we'll do some punctures so it kind of crimps it in towards the center so it adds a little more turbulence to the exhaust. And the finished product. Now let's go poke some holes. Now, in order to create the indentations, I'm using a welding chisel, only because it was the first thing I found in my horrifically filthy garage. But you can use just a normal chisel or a ball peen hammer. It doesn't really matter as long as you can make indentations with it. Alright, all the indentations are made, and now we just have to wrap it with the padding. So for padding, I bought some Lynn Manufacturing ceramic fiber blanket. I bought it 1 inch thick. You only need a 1/2 inch thick blanket, but this was cheaper in 1 inch. And if you've ever dealt with fiberglass, you know it comes in layers. So all you do is just peel off half of the layers and you have 2 1/2 inch thick blankets. So to wrap it, all you do is just wrap it around the pipe using masking tape to keep it in place, and that's all there is to it. It's really simple wrapping it. I didn't even bother to take a video of it. So you might be wondering, why masking tape? Why not metal wire? Because it'll hold it in place better. The reason I say masking tape is because it wraps it completely so that it's a nice smooth surface, so that when you slide it back into the exhaust pipe, it slides in, there's nothing to catch on, and as you know, your exhaust gets really hot, so the masking tape is just going to slowly burn off over time anyways. So it ends up allowing the ceramic material to expand fully. Alright, the baffles are reinstalled, and let's do some before and afters.